Hello there and welcome to the Windkiller channel once again. I've been AFK for a while, but I think it's time for another battle report. Well, hello there, hello there again. Uh, it's been a while. I realized the intro probably said the same thing, but it's a recorded intro, just so you know. In any case, today's battle. Let me just take a few words before we get into the battle report here, because we are back with another battle report, and it's been a while. Been busy. Haven't had that many chance to find a game, and also I have been waiting for this new brilliant book of the Saurian Ancient, and it was released 3 days ago, so I had 3 games with it so far, and I must say it's exciting. Uh, I've only played one list so far, and it's a few variations of it. And the basic theme of it is three terracotas with a magical bow on top of them, which shoots. Let me just go through the list actually. So the list is here. At least it looks similar. Yeah, I think this is the list actually, or at least it's very close to the list here. So it goes. It has an arcane archmage with Denovation and ancient Peliquick and forbidden mastery. So he has what, 6 spells and three magic missiles if he desires, or 2 magic missiles, whatever. Very strong wizard just overall. Next is the Tego veteran with the Destiny Call, so very strong fighter here. I think he's gonna get nerfed. I think he's really good. I mean, 5 attack, rest 5, strength 5, 4+ ward save in a unit. Right? Yeah. And then a Skink Veteran, and here's the combo, right? The Skink Veteran has the magnetic shortbow with an alchemical arrows. So the arrow, this for people who are unfamiliar with this item here. I should go through an Archmage as well here. So his items is the Ancient Peliquick, which allows him, it's like the old one, it allows him to reroll 1 power dice, but it has an additional effect, which also allows me to reroll 1 Dispel dice. Very strong, very strong. And the Forbidden Mastery, which allows me to have 2 Pyromancer spells on the cost of taking some damage himself. Then we're talking about the Skink Veteran, right? Alchemic Arrows, 4-shot, which I believe hits on 4s as basic, because I've been having trouble actually finding out. At least I haven't trouble remembering if it has any specific. So it's a short magic bow, has 4-shot. Attack made with this weapon become magical attacks if the weapon inflicts 1 or more hits, all simultaneously made shooting attacks with loot stone from the wielder's unit gain +1 strength and become magical attacks for the duration of the phase. That's good, and he shoots, I think he shoots bows on a 3+. Skink Veteran, it's actually 2+. So magnetic bows, which if he moves and is long range, he hit on 4s, right? So he usually hit on 4s, and if these bows hits, right, the bearer's unit gets +1 strength, and he of course joins with caution, because there are people who shoots out in this as well here. But if it's possible, then he joins this unit here of the Terracotta's head, and this gives these magnetic giant bows strength 6 on front rank and strength 4 piercing arrow. So if they pierce, like say, if they manage to land 4 hit out of 6, let's say they hit on 3+, and then they get +1 to hit from loot stone, and then they moved, and then it's long range, so it's 4. They hit on 4s, right? 6 shots, so it's half 3 hits. And I mean, just alone the 3 hits is if they shoot at anything that's 5 ranks deep, they do 15 hits on average, right? Uh, strength 4, AP 2, absolute insane. 12 of them is strength 4, AP 2, and 3 of them is what? Strength 6, AP 4, AP 5, D3 damage. I mean, like, these guys shoot like fucking, they shoot really good. I get it, it's only range 18, but that's why I put in the Paradon Riders here, to help them chaff something. And the Raptor pack can work as chaff as well. The Weapon Beast can work as chaff as well. So it's not that easy to get to this Terracotta's hut, right? And I mean, everything that can get to them is usually something that flies. Usually something that flies alone, that's big, that don't like crossing attack, which they also have, right? So all in all, I've been having great success with this unit here. This is the backbone of the unit, of this army, I feel. And then the other unit I've been very positive surprised about is this combination of 30. Well, I played 31 Tega Warriors, combined with 3 Cayman's Elders weapons in combined strength, and then the Skank Veteran in there. And this unit here is able to take a charge from almost everything apart from maybe, I don't know, Ogress, I don't know, because they're also a parry, so units with paired weapons that have high strength and high armor and many attacks, I mean, they're really stable. It's a really strong unit, and when they are joined by the Cayman Elders, right, they get what? So if you put them 6 wide, then you have 5 deep plus another 2 from the Caymans, means you're 7 deep, right? I mean, they have 7 ranks or 6 ranks, or however you count that. I'm not really sure if the Cayman counts as 1 rank or 2 ranks, but anyway, a lot of ranks, right? With parry, and yeah, they don't hit too hard, but they have the 9 attacks from the Caymans to make up for that. And I mean, if they are 8 wide, if they are in horde formation, they still do like what, 30 attacks, strength 4, maybe +1 to hit. It's not good, but it's I guess it's okay. They could potentially be buffed from, which brings me to the next unit. They could potentially be buffed from the Cayman Warriors, who has an Enclave Wizard in there. Yeah, with the Obelisk of Collaboration, so if I want to try and do a long charge, these guys will try and charge with something else if I need a long charge, particularly if I need. They're often next to the Saurian Warriors or next to the yeah, I guess they only work with I haven't actually, it's the first time I try them out. I just put this Obelisk of Collaboration in here because I thought it was cool. I haven't tried it out actually. I don't know if it's good. Maybe it's bad. Because I'm thinking this list here for now. Oh, let me just go through the list before I says what I think it misses. But yeah, there's not much to say. Some chaff, yeah, Paladin Riders with Manag short bows, 3 units of Weapon Beasts with spearbacks. I mean, just things to take down armored units again, elite units, and yeah, knights, because knights hits my Titanic part here really hard. So the Titanic part here is BSB as well as being a monster, right? So he's worth what, 800, close to 800 points. So he's you don't want to lose that guy. And I played 3 games and I've been 2 times I've been charged by knights, and the knights have done pretty decent against him. I was lucky that I didn't lose, but definitely a possibility. So that's why I brought 3 weapon beasts with spear bags instead of flaming weapons, because they do well against knights. Which leaves me to, as I mentioned, what I think the list missed here. It was one more commune bound unit or scoring unit, because right now it only has 2 scoring units, right? And I could, and so I'm thinking that I'm considering removing these 8 raptor pack and replace them for 20 skinks, and put a spear bag in there and make it a salamander to widen the what do you call it, the commune bound web. If you look at it here in the Knight Recruit Maker here, if we delete this unit here, I think I should have enough without sacrificing too much. Giving up here, they're gonna have spears, champions, and I mean we could also go for an Enclave Wizard here, right? And which leave us with 100 point too much, which is not ideal. So I mean it's probably gonna be the Enclave Wizard here that's gonna die here. And then we have 24 points too much, so what should go? It's a good question. It's probably some magnetic bows on these guys here, so just poison javelins, and the caimans I think they could just do with great weapons, don't need hellebards. And that leaves us with 6 points too much, and we need to upgrade our weapon spear back here to salamander. And then we need to find another. So the obelisk of cooperation I think would also take a height here, so that's perfect. Okay, and then there's 14 point left, so increase in skink here. I think this is perfect. Oh, this is not perfect. So this is what? Perfect. 4.5, 122 skinks instead of the 8 raptor pack. The raptor pack is just really good, right? For not for counter charge, for flank charge and chasing cannons and all those kind of beautiful things. Right now there's only 2 Peloton riders that can do that, so having 8 more riders would be really nice. Oh, ew. Okay. Yeah, so this is my list, and I was playing against the another list. The list I was playing against was it's I think most people might be knowing him. It's called Subspace, and he was playing a list kind of similar to this list you can see here. A Druid Master, a Smoothsayer with Druids, and a Beast Lord, a nasty Beast Lord, and a Beast Chieftain, hard hitting, and then 2 ambush units of Wildhorn Herds, and 20 mongrels, and then what was it? Some Failhounds. Well, he changed the list a little bit. He didn't have any Failhounds, and instead he had 40 Melgron Herds, and he played without the Gorchov, and instead the Gorchov he added 1 more giant and 9 Razor Tusk. It is quite the unit to get through. So anyway, that's our lists. So without further ado, I'm just gonna jump right into the game, and after we deployed our units. So the scenario was refuse flank, where I had the short flank, where I had the long flank, and capture spoiler wars, I think it's called. 3 markers are placed, and you have to pick them up. So obviously he has a great advantage having ambushes. He went first. No, I went first because I wanted turn 1 to to try and shoot something with my my heart here, right? Or was it? Let me just. What did I go? Hold on. It's been 2 days, okay? Yeah, so I went first. Yeah, cause that was my plan. So I just drop everything in the middle, right? The big guy in the middle here to just like I don't know if it's good because having him dropped in the middle without having too much space for him means if the enemy is closer than his depth, right, then he can't wheel and charge out. So it's 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 not that difficult to chaff him off, right? He's really big. Anyway, that was the scenario here. He places two longhorn herds here and here, and he places his forest here. I think looking back, I think the forest would have done better a little bit to the right, but yeah, because then he could have stopped me. He could have gained cover from my Terracutas. I think he underestimated Terracutas, the shooting of them. With good reason, because I rolled pretty badly with him. Yeah, not much to say. Straight up fighting, longhorns, mongrels, straight up, and then some chaff. And the on the right flank he had the Razor Tusk and a giant on each side. So I get the first turn here, and his magic, I think he goes with the Summon's Grove, Stone of Skin, Healing Water, and what was it? I think the Entangling Vines, or was it a Magic Missile? I can't remember. And I go for some combat boosting, 1 Magic Missile, 2 Magic Missile, Pyroclastic Flow, and Unerring Strike. And then the some other denovation spells which I can't quite remember, but I think Starlines was obviously one of them, and I forgot the name of the other one, but I didn't choose Know Thy Enemy, and I didn't choose number 1 and 6, and I think it was maybe number 3 or 5, I can't remember. Anyway, so my first turn here, I have a decent magic phase. Roll number 8, flux 8 cards, so there's a lot of dice here. So I get the Star Alliance, Flaming Sword, and Healing Water through on my Terracoxis unit here, right? So basic right now they have 6 shot, right? Hitting on 5s, reroll to hit. And if my Skink Priest managed to land a shot, then strength 4, right? So the rest of the things didn't really do anything. And as I often find myself, placing units so they chaff each other off here, and this was a reoccurring theme throughout many of my games. So right now I have these 2 spearbacks here standing down here, not in a position to be able to chaff off anything early, not in a position to shoot anything, and I mean if these Tusker Riders go for it, then what am I going? I'm gonna go here, and I might need 3 turns to be able to remotely chaff off these guys, right? So it's quite they terribly placed, right? So they were kind of non-existing this game here, right? Yeah, let's go to the next picture here and let's see what happens. Yeah, so in his turn he just marches forward, like, and he ambushes. He had the Hunter's Call, so he ambushes with one of his units to take the objective, and he just marches forward. And what was his plan here? I think he rolls up a flank charge here with his giant combined with these Razor Tusk. That's the idea, right? And then these 2 big Wildhorn units on the march to one is ready to charge my Taker Warriors, and the other one is planning on hitting the flank, right, after probably taking care of these 2 units. I think that's at least the idea, and then having some ambush units coming up here or here. Yeah, and the magic, I don't think anything particularly interesting happens his turn. Yeah, he rolled a flux 1. He gets off regeneration and stone of skins. Like, I didn't plan on charging that unit next turn, so I let him have all the spells he cast with Dura resistance because I didn't plan on doing anything against that unit anyway. So my turn here. Yeah, I think this is my turn here. Not much happening these first 2 turns here. So my turn here. I chaff off his Razor Tusk with these guys here, and I'm not sure how I should have placed them, but they reaches a dangerous position where if he roll an 11, he will actually hit my Tarakutis with his Razor Tusk. Which, I mean, like, if it happens, it's probably game over, right there. However, something much better happens for me. We'll wait and see. So my turn, I move him back a little bit here to get ready for the giant to attack me here. And I don't even know what I'm gonna do with these guys here. I think I move them forward a little bit. I think that's about what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Yeah, so magic, what happens? I think, yeah, I get the, yeah. So I think I get off, yeah. So again, I get off the, I get off the, Star Alliance and the, Flaming Sword right here. So now they're ready to shoot this giant here, right? They hit on short range, I think it is, and I placed them just so they were within 9. So my skink, he will still get stand and shoot if he charges. So it's what, 6 shot hitting on force, re-rollable, strength 6. D3 wounds, so and +1 to wounds, so wounding on 2s. Yeah, I mean, like, the giant just died. I think he took like 9 wounds or 10 wounds or something like that. So I mean, like, just to mention, this unit here is, I mean, like, you don't find many things that just shoot a giant off in 1 turn. Obviously they're out there, no armor safe and all that, but I could have done that with any unit, right? I mean, like, even armor safe 1+, this could have happened. Strong unit. Anyway, and then they work so well with innovation because you have a lot of good combat spells with innovation, but you often find yourself not having able to use the long range spells very effectively. At least with the SAURIan Ancients, in my experience. And this unit here provides a perfect platform for the Star Alliance. Before we had these guys here, I was like, you could use them on 2 spearbacks, and then it would be like, or you could pop it into an aura, and you could have like, what, 4 spearbacks, and then you could shoot 4 spearback shots. Nothing compared to this, right? Yeah. So he's next turn. Oh, I move up another spearback here to chaff off his, cause as mentioned, I placed my chaff terribly, so these guys here couldn't get to the chaffing, because ideally, I mean, these 2 spear hunters, they should have chaffed up one of these longhorns. But I couldn't manage to do that. And so I used my other spearback to chaff him up here, and just saying, alright, you can charge me, and then the idea is, as long as I stop stone skin, then I will be alright. And if I'm not mistaken, I do stop it. Here I see we're looking at his second turn 2 charge phases, right? And I think I get it. Let's see here. Yeah, so his magic phase, I think it crumbles pretty badly. I'm not even sure. Does he get anything off, right? Oh, he did get regeneration off, right? So he gets and he chaps off here. He chaps off 2 units with his gargoyles here. And he arrives with his ambushes behind the house. Yeah, so obviously he kills the spearback here, and he kills the Pedodon riders. and actually he overruns with the razor task here, right? Um, and I think he ends up being like here. So let's see. Let's just look at it instead. So this is the after combat phase, and actually it's my turn after charges. Anyway, so he overran. He decided to run after these Petrons, and I think he needed an 11 to hit the Terracutis, and a 10 or I think it was 9 plus would have been in the flank. That would give me a flanking charge with my Terracutis on his guy. And I think he rolled a 10, so I get a flank charge off on these Razor Task here. And it's I took the charge. I mean, there was also the alternative to just move around it and just start trying to shoot them, and then embrace that they will eventually get their flank charge into the, and then maybe use one turn chaff here, and then after that accept they get into this big combat here. How I went for the charge. I'm still not entirely convinced it's the correct decision, but I haven't looked at the dice. But I mean, like, crossing attacks still do pretty good into these guys, right? Yeah. The Titanopod here goes into the gargoyles. They succeed their terror test, which was a shame, right? And I think the Caimans actually stayed back, yeah, because the idea was that no, they charge with them, right? So the idea is that the Caimans here, they don't really care if they run him down or they stand something like this here, and they want to hit this unit here, right? And this giant here want to reform, get ready to hit this unit here after taking care of the gargoyles, right? That's the idea, right? However, he still has a unit of Hero Mongols down here, which could maybe chaff him. I can't remember. But I mean, if he doesn't get the chaff off here, and I manage to, these guys manage to go in here, and I manage to wheel here, then he has to charge with his longhorns into these Cayman, kill them, and then run over into the Titanopod here to stop his strongest unit from being massacred, right? And I'm not even sure it's that fantastic. It's not that fantastic matchup for him to run into my Titanic pod with his longhorns, even though it's probably gonna get bloody, but it's probably not that bad for me. I haven't looked at the numbers. It's just a few, just maybe. Anyway, let's see what happens. As mentioned, he get off healing waters, and he ran over, right? So it's my turn. So I charged with my Terracutis, and I charged with my Skink into the flank here. And I mean, if these guys haven't been spearbags but they have been salamanders instead, this would have been beautiful, right? I mean, this would have done a lot. I mean, like, yeah, then we're talking about good damage. But sadly with spearbags, and they can do absolutely nothing from this position apart from providing 3 attacks each. In any way, so magic, I get off some good spells. I think I'm gonna I tried my heretic spell, boosted version. He stops that. Which number was it? It's number 4. So I have, I think it was like 7 versus 5 dice. Anyway, I get through 2 spells. I get distraction, squaring, and the star lines on the Saurian warriors here. So we're in for what? I think it's 28 attacks from the Saurian, 9 attacks from the Caimans, and 5 attacks from the veteran, all the rerolls, and the divine attacks, right? And parry and distraction. I mean, yeah, I think I'm in a good position here. I feel. He has but he also has the chieftain and the beast lord in there. So he also I mean, he punts her back, right? Let me just see here. We fight the combat here, right? So I take out how many? What's 12, 15? I take out 14 of his long horns here, and I think he managed to do like what? Not that many wounds, 7 wounds or something. He fails pretty badly, but I mean he hits on 5, right? Even with Primary Fury, he still only hit on 5s. But he fails pretty badly. It was a bad round for him. But he's steadfast and he stays, right? And the other big combat was the Razor Tusk here versus the Tarakutis. I think I only managed to do 1 wound on him. I tried to cross attack him with 3 of these guys, and I think I get 1 through and it only do 1 wound, or doesn't do anything actually. I can't remember. It was pretty bad. He turns around and now I'm looking at some pretty nasty guys. What is it? 16 plus 12, 28 attacks, hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s, saving on 4s. So what is it? 28, 14, 7, 3.5 wounds. It's only 3.5 wounds, which he actually managed to land 3.5 wounds also in this combat. I actually loses this combat, I think. It was the dice was a little bit rough on me here. So without further ado, just the next round here. So we managed to take out the gargoyles here. I run over into the longhorns here, and I'm thinking 9 caimans versus, yeah, what, 31 longhorns here. He hits on 3s, he re-rolls on 2s, he hits on 3 with re-roll and wounds on 2, no armor save. I mean, it's not really ideal for me, is it? Not really ideal. I do hit first, right, with what, 9, 18 attacks, 3 plus to hit and wounding on 4s, so that's what, 12 hits and 6 wounds. So it's like 6 wounds or something like that. Oh, after save, so 5 wounds. I only do 5 wounds, and I mean he has what, 12, 13 attacks. So he hits on 3s. That's 8 hits and another 2.5 hits, like 10.5 hits wounding. So what is it? 9 wounds he does. Yeah, and 3 ranks. So I die. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, yeah, that's not that combat yet. So his turn here, he charges with the mongrels into... Oh, I reformed the skinks to get ready for the mongrels here to charge here, because I figured I would be able to do more wounds with my skinks on the mongrels, so I could pick up some easy combat resolution here. He's magic phased. I think he doesn't do too much, right? We jump right into combat here, but he doesn't get anything through. And the next picture here is it's combat. So as you can see here, I took out close to the remaining longhorns here. He has his 2 characters left, I think, and 1 more guy or something like that, and I have I think we kill approximately, he killed a few more skinks than I kill. Yeah, because he activated the banner he has, the what it's called, Wild of the Horns, and so he hits on 3s and wounding on 2s, and I have 6 plus save. So I think he flopped a little bit here. Anyway, the combat goes like I win it, and he stays. Oh no, actually he runs, I think. But before we look at how it went, let's just look at the Razor Tusk combat here. So I was pretty lucky. From here on, I get really lucky on my Tarakutis combat here. He managed to do how many? I think he managed to do like 2 or 3 wounds, and I throw back like 6 wounds on him. I get both my crossing tagger through, and they give 3 wounds each. and my skinks do maybe a wound 2, so it's like 7 wounds or something. Uh, yeah, that was a good combat for me. They stay though, I think. They stay, and so the next combat he runs with everything, right? And he runs here, and I follow here. So I was a little bit conflicted here, if I should follow or if I should just um, reform and have a look at them. But I figured that yeah, if I should just reform here, because then I could look at these guys here. So if in his turn he would win this combat here, then I would still be able to charge these guys here, and if he charged the Titanopod here, I would still be able to get a flank charge on these guys here. So I was conflicted here, but I decided it was just a lot of points. I think it was two of his characters that were still in there, so I can run him down, and I could get a free charge in on these herds here, right? So I ran for the overrun, and in my turn, I turned this Titanic pod here and looked towards the Wildhorn words, getting ready for attacks, and these the Tego Warrior unit that overrun, they charges his Mongol herds with his mage in there. He flees. I countercharge the giant, which was here before, and he decides to run with the giant as well. And I think I fuck up a little bit here. I probably should have focused this unit here and just trying to do some magic missiles on this unit here instead. But anyway, so what this is my turn 4. Oh, so this is my turn 4, and his turn 4 looks something like this, right? The Razor Tusk breaks from combat. This is the turn goes a little bit fast here. So his Razor Tusk broke from combat here. They run over here, and oh yeah, I got the character spells in on them. So they only, and I think it was the boosted version. So he only hit on what, 4s, not 5 now, and he wounded on 5s. And I managed to hit both my crossing attacks. So let me just say, the heretic spells is just really strong, insanely strong. Holy moly! And particularly with the druid setup or the innovation setup, because then you use scrying for the and then you have parry, right? You have parry, and then you use scrying, and you use with what? There's one, and then you use one more offensive spells. It could be Awaken a Beast, it could be re-rolling to hit, or it could be Know Thy Enemy, or I think in this game here I also had the Enclave Wizard here with the water, healing water. So I had healing water, scrying, and my heretic spells. So it's really hard to stop this magic phase here. It's very strong. So he dies, he runs, and the game is sorta over by now. But he do charges here and here. He didn't know about the rule that he didn't get flank charges on this Titanic pod here, so he charged with the Mongol riders here, and he charged with the Longhorns in the front, and his mages rallies and his giant rallies. And I think this one keeps running. And how does the combat go? Yeah, the combat, he dies, he loses a little bit, he stays with one unit and the other unit. I think even the other unit runs as well. So it's sort of just like cleanup time, and I think my cleaning up here in this game here was not too sharp. I could definitely have played it better. We can go through it here, yeah. So this is my turn. I think it's my turn 5. So what I did here, this is just before magic, I can see here. This is just before magic, and what I did here was I charged with my Terror Cookies here. I charged with my Tiger Warriors here, and I turned these guys here. So I wanted to. No, I didn't charge with them, right? I just wanted to move forward to shoot magic missiles at them, and then use the spear bags, and hopefully I could cause a panic test. And then I shot with my bows on these guys here. So far this is actually fine, I think. I think I fuck up in the next turn, my last turn here. Yeah, so this spear bag, the spear bag here, you can see here, I think it's just charged these guys here to chase them further up, so maybe if they fail their fear test, they will get closer to run off the table, right? And these guys rally as well, so he has some good rallies, and these guys here, they rally as well. Oh yeah, so I did charge with my Tiger Warriors, and they failed the charge, and he rallies these guys in. And with his giant, he charges these skinks, which is a big mistake, because now I cannot win the objective either, right? If I just decided to not go this crazy with my skinks, I could have, from in turn 5, instead of moving here, instead of moving closer towards his mage unit here, right, I could have just turned him around and went to the objective, taken the objective my turn, which would have given me what, 1400 points. That was a big mistake. Anyway, so he charged with the giant here, and things are actually getting a little bit heated here, right? I try even to hit him with everything I have, but I think due to the heretic spells, I get the heretic spells in on him, and because he has the 2 extra leadership, he actually succeeds his leadership test, because I don't manage to do enough wound on him. So this also shows it has I mean, it has downside as well. And this is sort of the last turn of the game here, right? I don't think anything happens from here. Yeah, I loses my skinks, and I keep my, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. At the end, the score was 14-6 to me. And thanks to the game subspace, it was great fun. Yeah, interesting army, I think. As mentioned in the beginning, they have some interesting units. I think the Toga Warriors here, which I underestimated, and I think the community is having a hard time seeing them being strong as well. It's probably strong, combined with the right magic. And the Terror Cookies, I haven't seen anyone make a list with them yet. I think this magic arrow looks really strong. Combined with chaff, like they can get off, if they get off, like just simulate what, just imagine they shoot at the what is it, 30 wild horns, just to do the math here, just a little bit wild long horns, right? And let's just pretend that we get like star lines off, or we get one of the or the flaming sword rune, doesn't matter which one, but let's just pretend we get star lines off. So now you have what, 6 shots hitting on 4s with rerolls, so it's 3, it's 4.5 hits, so you wound with 4. So you wound the first rank, you get 4 wounds, and then you have another 20 attacks with strength 4. So you're wounding on 4s, that's 10. So you deal what, 14 wounds plus the 4 shots from the skin captain, which is probably another wound or 2. So it's like what, 16 wounds, 1 round of shooting, and it's, you have 6 shots instead of, like I say, a trebuchet that only has 1 chance to hit. You have 6 shots, so you can, I mean, it's just strong. It's strong. I mean, I get it. You mean, if the enemy has any shooting, you just take out the small skink priest here, right? But that's why I gave him a 5+ ward save. So even if you have what 20, even if let's say there's 20 shot going in on him, you still have to distribute what let's say in Ravis you hit with on 4s, so you still have to distribute between 4 guys, so it's what 2.5, right? 2.5 shots that can hit him. You probably wound him on 4s or 3s, and then let's just say 4s in this case here. So that's 1.25, and then I have like what chance of saving that wound. So he still survived 20 shots right on average. And I mean, you don't want to put him into a place where he gets shot by much more than that, right? And I mean, Giant had 7 wounds, right? 7 wounds, but you could also imagine Cowboys. I mean, Cowboys, they will just die. There are many things they're good against, right? Yeah. Anyway, this is the battle report. Hopefully, I'm also considering making a video about the army in whole, doing a lot of theory crafting about different kind of builds you can do, and try them out and do a battle report when I tried the different builds out. Anyway, a lot of content is probably coming from now on. At least I'm hoping to find time and the motivation to do it, because this army book here looks very interesting. Let me just say that I really like the list, and reading the forums I have understood that there are a lot of other broken units out there. People have spoken very well of the Raptor pack, the Cornosaurs. That's probably the 2 units I heard the most positive reviews about, and obviously the Anorak Archmate, who is just I think more broken than ever. I think he's very strong right now, probably too strong. I personally suggested like something you could nerf him so you can make like 2 versions of him, one stronger than the other, which I think would be a good, because then you could allow a heavy magic list, and then you could allow a magic list that still have magic but not heavy. Because right now you don't really have an alternative. I mean, you can go with these Enclave Wizard and put them in everywhere, but I'm having a hard time to understand how exactly that is not bad, because you take off a lot of attacks, it's expensive, your spells are placed all over the map, you can't centralize it, and I mean, if you lose the champion to anything, right, then you lose it. And I mean, if you have the champion, then you can't put him into combat, because then you don't want to put your wizard into combat. It's kind of a lot of conflicting places here. I feel there's a lot of conflicting things about the Enclave Wizard. So the way I see it, the Enclave Wizard has to be combined with a real wizard, and so hence my suggestion that you could maybe be able to field, let's say, a Skink Priest, or just a weaker version of the Anorak Archmates. So you could able to field a weaker version, so you would have more alternative. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. This is it, and stay tuned.